Mr. Srivastava, who is from Kolkata, West Bengal, is currently at PwC India. Mr. Srivastava is also an alumnus of Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He also completed his post-graduation in data economics and development policy from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Apart from his professional achievements, Mr. Srivastava has demonstrated his commitment to helping people in need by being a sober personal friend and an expert in public policy. Please join me in extending a hearty welcome to Mr. Srivastava. Let's hear from him how he is bridging the gap from public services to corporate world.
Thanks a lot, Vibhor, and thanks a lot for such a, profusive, such a generous introduction. So I may not have many of the qualities that you mentioned, but yes, I have enjoyed whatever I have done, and I have worked in the Indian Administrative Service for 16 years, and I would say there are no artificial boundaries like. Public service is totally different, and then when you come to this side it's totally different, because for example I was working in the industries department for last 4 years, and before that I have worked in field districts, and I have worked in economic finance, and I have worked in home department. So the understanding that you bring from that side, and for example right now in PwC also I'm working on investment promotion, industrial policies, incentives. So I have seen those things from the other side. I know the pain points from the other side. Here maybe just the maybe perspective has changed, but the field and very many things that you can take from there come here. So I would say I have taken a lot of experience, and it's quite enriching and learning experience for me as well. So some things I had learned there, and now I have switched sides, so I can see something from a different perspective, from different angles. And with this amalgamation and if these things, only that is the process in which the society develops, in which all of us learn from each other. So yes, I'm happy, and thank you, Vibhor, and the entire team for having me here.
Okay, sir. From IIT Kanpur to MIT and then an IAS, you cracked few of the most difficult entrance examinations of this country. Any tips you would like to give to our audience?
Okay. Uh, So I don't know. See, there are two things, and I'm sure many of your viewers would be following different philosophers and go. I recently started liking Naval Ravikant, and his podcasts and his videos are pretty great. And one thing he mentions, and this is of course mentioned many things else, you will get whatever you want in life. In fact, uh, in movies it has been used, and I think probably in one Shah Rukh Khan movie it is like कि तुम जिसको शिद्दत से चाहोगे वो कायनात कोशिश करेगी तुमको मिलाने की. Basically the perspective is you will get whatever you want in life, but you will have to ask only for one thing, that thing. So the thing that is said na कि अर्जुन को सिर्फ चिड़िया की आंख दिखाई दे रही थी. So if you start desiring for something, trying with all your might for that, then you will certainly get it. And I believe that it's not that something it's big large feat or something that I could do, but yes, if I wanted to try for, let's say, IIT or for IAS, I could like push with my entire might towards it. And I enjoyed the process. So it's not that it's very difficult and or it's like something unthinkable. But yes, you have to understand what you clearly want. You have to probably want just one focused thing and then work with all might towards it. And I'm sure you'll get it.
Sir, currently we are seeing many movies and web series are being made on aspirants. For example, Kota Factory, Three Idiots, and lately 12th Fail. Are these, according to your opinion, are these stories relevant enough for JEE UPSC aspirants?
See, of course, relevant, yes, because many you get an idea. For example, even my 8-year-old son, when he watches you 12th fail or something, you realize that yes, there is struggle. You realize that yes, this is something which people aspire. Of course, these all these series and everything takes cinematic liberty. So it's not that the path that they might be telling or is everything is true. So it's at the heart, at the core, it's a story. It's a story of struggle. It's a story of like trying for something, wanting something. So that element you have to discount. These are relevant, yes, because and you know whenever you try to become an aspirant, you want to go for IIT or you want to go for, let's say, civil services examination. It's not only about you, it's also about your family, your ecosystem, your, let's say, neighbors, peers, everybody. So with series like this, all these things come in discussion. It comes in the forum and people start talking about it. And a very similar example I'll take. For example, uh, India has started seeing the startup story, and something like Shark Tanks comes up. So everybody knows that yes, there is something called industry founder, and there is something called startups. So I would say yes, these are good in a sense, but yes, you should also take it with a pinch of salt. They take cinematic liberties. These should not become the ultimate, like whatever is told in aspirants or whatever is told in, let's say, 12th fail is the truth, is the like solemn truth, and there is nothing beyond that. Absolutely not. Enjoy that story, take whatever learnings you can, and at the end of the day, it's good that people talk about it, people know about it.
Okay, sir. Sir, do you agree that India is being brain drained by the Western nations?
Absolutely not. See, we are a nation of what, 140 crore people. Of course, almost like roughly one sixth of the world's population stay in India. And what is our strength? And long back, we thought that our population is a burden on us, and there are so many people, and the population is growing. But I would say, and it is quite well accepted, that population is our greatest strength. In fact, whenever, and even in the government side and on this side, whenever we pitch to foreign investors, or let's say anybody, we say that we have a huge large skilled manpower, and that is our biggest strength. A young manpower, median age in India is 28. So we have a huge young population. We have a young population that is skilled, young population that can contribute to different things. And I would say that more and more people should go out, and they are going out, because the engineers, the number of engineers that are provide that we are having in India, the number of, let's say, scientists, a number of other specialists that we are having in India. One, it's very good that they are absorbed across the world. And second, for a nation that aspires to have a global ambition, that aspires that one day we will be a developed nation, we will have a first row amongst the nations of the world, it gives you immense strength. For example, Indian diaspora in America, or maybe Indian diaspora in UK, and maybe other places, Middle East, they are our biggest strength today. And they also help in, like, getting good reviews about India, uh, having having us to position ourselves in different things. And second, it's also always a collaborative effort. So you will see that even people are they're in Silicon Valley, and I have found that IITians who have done something in Silicon Valley, when they come back to Bangalore, they are very more willing to like set up a startup here rather than just focusing only on USA. Some of my friends from IIT who are there, so that connect always remain. So brain drain per se, I would say it's a thing of the past. We are not a nation that we think, no, we have only this much of doctors, only these many engineers, and if they go out, what will happen of India? Absolutely not. We are 140 crore nation. We are a confident nation, young nation, talented nation. I would say more and more youth should go out, explore opportunities, and we have even enough who want to stay in India, work here, and this bridge is very important. And this is, I would say, a stepping stone in a developed India.
Okay, sir. UPSC is becoming the next step for many graduates. What are your views on the selection rates here?
Okay, so about UPSCC, first I mentioned that you will get what you want, but you should know what you want. And UPSC is a difficult exam. Like, let me talk only about the IAS, Indian Administrative Service. And even now, there are roughly almost 180 seats, 180 odd seats, whereas the number of people who fill up the application you see is around 10 lakh. So you all of us understand that the selection would be extremely tough. What we should think is that, do you really want it? And if you want it, go. Matlab, nothing is stopping you. Of course, you certainly go for it. But don't go for it if you think that it's a cool thing. It's the 12th fail में दिखाया है कितना अच्छा होता है. So don't go for it then. And there is also, I would say, an aspirational thing. क्या होता है कि if you don't know what do you want to do in life, and there is a concept of something called, I would say, disguised unemployment. So if I don't have anything to do and I'm, let's say, 21, so it's a good thing to, in my society also, to tell that I'm preparing for this exam, and next 7, 8, 10 years of your youth you can easily spend there. Avoid that trap. And if you think that, yes, no, I'm not in that trap, I have seriously thought about it, I'm willing to enter into this competition, I know what it is in up for me, and I seriously want it, and I'm willing to like contribute. Sacrifice would be a tough word, but I'm willing to, let's say, devote a year or two seriously only in this pursuit, then certainly go for it. But take it with a pinch of salt. It's a very, very difficult competition. Of course, you should work very hard. You have to work very, very hard, and you should also have luck on your side. So of course, when only 180 people are becoming Indian Administrative Service officers from a, let's say, a band of 10 lakh people, and I certainly don't say that maybe I was most intelligent among them, or I was, my all India rank was 27th. But if you ask me that, was I the 27th, was I there, the 27th most intelligent person in this country and most deserving and most capable person in this country? No, I take it with all humility that yes, there is an element of destiny, there is an element of everything falling in place. I wanted it, I worked hard for it, but also be prepared that everything doesn't, may not work out as you think and as you feel that may move in life. There are uncertainties. It's the prime of your youth. It's the time when people build careers. People destroy careers, spoil careers in UPSC. There are some of my IIT batchmates who spent 8, 10 years there and ended up not getting anywhere. And once, let's say, when you are 30, once you are 30 and you don't have anywhere to go, it's a very difficult situation to be in. So, not to dissuade, not to say that it's not worth trying, but don't just look at it as any other career. It's a very difficult exam. Seriously think about it. Try to see what officers do, what civil service opportunities civil services provides. And do you want to go for it? Are you willing to face that competition? And if you think that the answer is yes, your core of the heart, your intrinsically everything is telling that you should go for it, then you should certainly go for it.
Okay, sir. Sir, we in current times we hear this thing. India is becoming a global leader. Is it possible in near future that India will be a global leader?
Of course, we can be a global leader, and I would say the present world wants India to be a global leader, and we have everything to become a global leader. The path is not easy. Let us take the India development story. We all of us talk about the liberalization of India, like unleashing the market forces. So you all of you are too young, but uh, 20 years back, it was a struggle to get a telephone connection. Or even before my time, I remember that when my father wanted to buy a scooter, so he had to wait for, let's say, 3 months to buy a scooter. And why was it? Because state decided everything. Government decided whether there should be a production of cars, where this production should go into something else. So everything, there was a permission for everything. And I remember I was reading a anecdote somewhere that when Infosys wanted some advanced machine in, let's say, late 1980s from USA, they had to wait almost for 11 months to get different clearances. Some new computer had come up, so for 11 months they were struggling for it. And after 11 months they got the permission, and by the time they got permission, the advanced cheaper version of that machine had come in US. But they decided that they will not waste that time again, so they bought that old machine just to be in time. But India changed after 90s. So when liberalization, privatization, and globalization was allowed in India, we started growing at a good pace. The growth rate that India has witnessed, very few large economies can have it. Even today, India is the fastest growing large economy that is growing in. So that started. And so first 20 years, I would say software growth was easiest. You just have some talented bunch of skilled people. You may have a good building, internet, electricity connection, and then you immediately start that BPO industry, or let's say you start doing the lower end jobs of the software industry, and everything started. Services sector saw a boom. After 20 years, let's say from 1990 till I say 2010, in 2025 odd years, now we have enough capital, people who are willing to invest, people are looking at India seriously. We can take the next step. And what is the next step? Next step can be growth of manufacturing sector. Now we have good roads, now we can have industrial parks, now we can invest in factories like the mites of Apples and, let's say, Tesla, which are coming in India. So that thing has started. Of course, in the global order, India is a democracy. The only competition that everybody talks about is China. But with the geopolitical situation, with, let's say, communist regime in China, we are the power that everybody looks up to. And you can see that we have decent relationships with Russia, Iran, and we have been able to do business even with those countries with whom West is not absolutely against them. So we have most of the things in our place, but we can also not be complacent, because it's not that we will certainly be a developed power. We are a diverse country. We have to keep an eye that there are no disturbances. All of us move together. The right noises that we have to make, we are able to make it. And the ultimate objective is development, economic development, and only after that other things may come along. We should not lose our focus on any other topics. I would say that yes, 90% chance India will be a developed country in next 30 years, but 10% chance we may take a wrong route. So the effort of all of us, especially youth like you, should be that the focus is economic development, and only through that prosperity can come.
Okay, sir. Sir, you have served as an IAS for 16 years. Are there any stories that you would like to share to us, with us?
Many stories, I would say. I tremendously enjoyed working in the service. 16 years I was there. And when we live in cities, and most of us, even I was, let's say I was in a small township, but real India, what is real India? And it is said that India is like a uh, like it's a long snake. The mouth is somewhere, whereas the tail is somewhere else. And many of us who live in, let's say, cities, and I would say many of your viewers who would be watching this may not know where the tail lies. And in being in services, especially in something like IAS, you can see that tail at times. So for example, I would quote, and many of you would have heard, there is something called Ganga Sagar Mela, which happens. Hindi में बोलते हैं सारे तीर्थ बार बार गंगा सागर एक बार. So it's a very difficult island. There is a Sagar Island where lakhs of people come on Makar Sankranti. So you come to the end of the, let's say, landmass, then you cross the sea, then you visit this island, and then you go there. Almost in suddenly one day, 5, 7, 10 lakh people converge on a small island where normally nobody goes. Normally hardly 100 people would be going there, but on suddenly on one day 10 lakh people would converge there. So uh, I did duty there. And the India that you see there, you realize that maybe we fail to see that, because old, let's say, crippled people coming up, absolutely absolutely innocent. And बोलते हैं ना डोरी पकड़ के, so there will be 30 people tied with a rope tied all across them. They will be walking in a line, and even if one of them misses out, they will just lose the way. They will just become lost for that. So very simple, humble people. You start hearing names that, for example, Anurags and Vibhors look totally alien. So suddenly you will start hearing names like Harka Devi. And so I'm not saying that, but क्या होता है ना, when we are in the cities, we suddenly lose track. And very old person, like let's say 80-year-old person with a big jhola, with a bora on his head, and still with a stick, still walking to visit that thing. So that experience, you can say, is something that you get in IAS. And second, I would like to quote about that snake thing. So I was DM in a district, and we talk about developed India, and we talk that whether we would be developed or not, and in 30 years what is happening. And here there is something called, in a village, a woman is branded as a witch, basically Diane, what is called. You suddenly, people brand the woman as a witch. All kind of horrors are committed on them, tied on a tree, made to eat shit, and real horrors that can take place. So you see those things as well. Services gave me tremendous such experiences, and I relished them, contributed in the manner I could. So yes, very many fond memories like this.
Okay, sir. Sir, what is your message to our viewers, especially those who are aspirants?
Okay, so I was reading somewhere, and we all know Buddhism, and we all know Buddh, about Buddha. So the message of Buddha was that जीवन में दुख है. First, you will have to understand that you will have pain, you will have suffering in life. Despite whatever you choose, you will have pain, you will have suffering. But choose something that you love to suffer, choose something that you want to do. And once you are able to define that, once you're able to understand that, then it will not remain a pain for you. You will, like it is said, that there was a debate, 70-hour week or 48-hour week, or if you love your work, and we are doing this on a Saturday, so this doesn't appear to be a work for us. If you love your work, it's nothing like pain, it's nothing like suffering. So choose the thing that you want to put yourself whole soul into it, with very carefully. And once you can identify that, after that, there won't be anything else. And it is said, right, that if you find something that you enjoy doing, you will have to never work for your entire life. So try to find something where your passion lies. And of course, be comfortable. Passions change. Today you may want to do something. Maybe I was an IAS officer for 16 years and I loved it and I relished it. But after 16 years, I thought that maybe I want to do something else. I started doing it. But at the moment, at the present moment, you have to understand what you want. Try to give your entire might into it. Also understand that it will not be easy. You will have moments of failure. You will, at times you will feel that you can't do it. At times others will say that this person is useless. They will keep on coming. Accept it with humility. Accept that times change, and it's not that I wanted it today, after 3 days why I'm not getting it. Things take time. Hard work takes time, but there is some also something called exponential growth that happens. So decide whatever you want to do with all seriousness, and after that, give all your might in it. I'm sure you will do very well in life. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for all the valuable insights you shared. You covered almost every aspect from from the position of India that will be in future to giving advices to our users, viewers, and the aspirants. Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thanks a lot, Vibhor. And it was my pleasure to talk to you. Wishing you and all your viewers my best wishes, and may all your dreams come true.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.